Hello, my name is Aaron and welcome to Board Games, Bricks, and Hobbies. This is a quick unboxing and component overview of Fast and Furious Highway Heist. Alright, so this is not really something that I was particularly interested in getting. I'll be honest, Fast 5 through 8 are some of my guilty pleasure movies. I think before that they're a little bit too weird, and then after that they just get a bit too crazy, but I think there's a sweet spot in the middle to be enjoyed by, well, myself, I guess. And I did pick it up for about $9 at Target. So I definitely probably wouldn't have considered this at full price, but for that, I'm willing to give it a shot. It is a cooperative game for 2 to 4 players. So there is that. On the back here, we've got to look at some of the components here. And normally this would come with 4 plastic tabs, which I appreciate that it doesn't come in shrink wrap, so it's a bit more eco-friendly. So once you remove those, then you can go ahead and get into the box itself. So let's have a look. Okay, so we've got our instructions. And again, our components overview, we'll go over those. This looks like quite a lot of rules. I feel like the target demographic of these movies probably isn't going to bother reading that, so interesting to see how much overlap there actually was. My guess is probably not a lot, hence why this game ended up on clearance. We've got some scenario guides, it looks like. So the tank and the semi-heist and the chopper. It looks like they do get longer as you go. So my guess is the chopper one is the most complex. I wonder if that's complexity or also difficulty. Like, is there only 3 difficulties, or is there a way to adjust the difficulty for each scenario? That's something interesting. Let's see here. Does it say anything about that? Okay, so difficulty. Remove stunt card. Okay, so it looks like you can actually adjust the difficulties within the scenarios by using different stunt cards, which I'm sure we will get to here. So here is the board. It's wrapped. So this is wrapped, unfortunately. Seems a little unnecessary use of plastic, but there's that. So this is not really a board material. This is more akin to something I would find on a shield, a player shield, not necessarily a board, but it's serviceable. It's the road here. Looks like we've got a compass rose and some spots for components and cards, I'm guessing. So yeah, not super high quality, but again, the price point for this, all right, let's get into the cars. That's honestly probably what is drawing a lot of people into it. So we've got a blue one, and orange, black one, purple, and as well as a helicopter. This almost, wow. This almost looks 3D printed. I don't think they're 3D printed. They look, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're injection molded, but they almost look 3D printed. So there's the helicopter. So we've got 4 good guy cars and 1 villain car and helicopter. The tank is, look at the tank. Yeah, they're injection molded, but they almost look like they could have been 3D printed. And then the semi-truck. I like how they're all color-coded to go with the scenario guides that we saw earlier. I wonder if this fits cars. You think this fits cars? It does. Let's see how many we can put. That's fun. I wonder if that's actually something you do in the scenario. Let's try to get the cars out. But anyway, so there's that. Truck right here. I like that all the components come in little baggies. That is useful. So these are used, I believe, to mark where you're at in the car. Basically, if you've seen the movies, you can jump from car to car and use them as mattresses. Because everyone knows that car hoods have the same protective power as landing on a mattress. That's just common knowledge. It's like right here we've got our enemy vehicles, the classic black SUV caravan that you see in every single movie. So there's that. And I do like, how everything just has its own spot here in the insert. Pre-punched tokens. I appreciate pre-punch tokens, but I also do kind of miss just having to, punch things out myself from the board. Looks like some car icons, as well as some packages and some character tokens. And these are, okay, so this is NOS. I initially thought this was a grenade. It's not, it's NOS, but so that makes sense. A couple of those. These are cubes, I assume for tracking your health. They look like candy, so probably don't let any small children get near those. And some custom dice, which custom dice are always fun. They are engraved, so they're printed on that. Yeah, they've got a good feel to them. So there's that. Let's take a look at our cards here. Got some large cards and some smaller cards. If I can open them. Apparently I can't. There we go. So it looks like the cards are also color-coded to the scenarios. These are enemy cards. So I'm guessing it's kind of like it's like maybe a pandemic style. You reveal the cards and bad stuff happens. Different actions. Looks like some of them show movement along the board. So there's those. And those. These are extremely large cards. So at the end of the video, I'll go over briefly all of the components that are included just from the manual. We got some reference cards. These are always helpful. I like it when games include these. So we've got 4 of those. And then scenarios. I wonder if they had planned to make more scenarios. My guess is not, because it doesn't seem, given the fact that this game is on clearance everywhere, I'm assuming it didn't sell well, so there probably won't be expansions, but it definitely seems like it was planned with that in mind. So these are stunt cards. And from the manual, it looks like these are actually what determines the end of the game. So if you draw essentially the last one of these or something like that, then the game is over. Those. And then the last group here. Take out the trash. They've all got kind of ridiculous names. Oh look, I didn't realize Miley Cyrus was in this game. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the components here. So we've got the board, and I didn't see, hang on a sec. There is more. They buried stuff under the insert. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like that, because that means I have to. You have a great insert here, but then you have to pull it out every time to get these. That's seems kind of annoying. To have to. I have another game, Loot and Loaded, I think, that has components that are stored under the insert, and I'm just not a fan of that. It looks like you've got one of these for each. So, okay, so you've got the setup on one side, and then the rules on the other. Semi-heist. Setup. Rules. Okay, so it looks like you'll actually be... I don't think you're actually putting the cars in there, although I think that would be amusing. Yeah, you're taking packages out. And the final one, chopper takedown. This one has multiple bars. All the other ones just have one. So there's that. And we have our characters. And this, I saw these on the back of the box, and I appreciate the art direction that they took in this game. So this is designed by Prospero Hall and published by Funko, but Prospero Hall is responsible for designing. They're kind of a conglomerate of people that is responsible for designing Villainous and other games along that line. And I appreciate that they didn't just use screenshots, just like in Villainous. They chose to go with original art, and so I appreciate that it kind of separates it from the license a little bit and makes it just kind of more unique, that it's not just a screenshot of Letty from the movie or all the other characters. So we've got abilities here, I'm guessing, and actions that you can take. There's that. And then right here, we've got the cars. And again, they went with just a generic license on these. So this is clearly your Dodge Charger, but it's just generic. Import Racer, Street Drifter, and the Exotic. Yeah, I just like that it's just unique, and I'm sure part of that is just due to licensing, but even if it was a restriction due to licensing, I still think it helps to give the game a more unique look. So there's all the components now. Let's see. So we've got the board. We've got six character boards, which correspond to the 4 different vehicles. So essentially you can put Dom in the Charger, or you can mix and match. That way you can have a variable setup. I like that. I like that they're not attached to one specific vehicle. Adds some replayability. So there's those two. Again, you've got the 4 player vehicles here, and then the 4 bad guy vehicles, the car, the helicopter, tank, and the truck. You've got some pins, 4, one for each color. You have 3 scenario boards. You have the board itself and the 3 scenario guides. Then you've got the enemy SUVs. There's 8 SUVs, and there's 9 of the pegs for the enemies. You have the player dice. We have 5 of the black ones and 1 enemy dice. You get the cubes. There's one of each color again for the characters. That's used to gauge your health, I'm guessing, right here for the vehicle, and then 3 for tracking the enemy vehicles on the scenario boards. You get a handful of tokens. Looks like we've got 8 package tokens. That's the large ones. We get 20 boost tokens. We get 1 Ramesses token, 4 car tokens, and then 3, looks like these are Tej tokens. So there's that. And the last things are the cards. We get the 4 reference cards, and we get 12 stunt cards. I apologize, 9 stunt cards for each color. So each scenario has 9 stunt cards. And then the last thing are the 32 enemy cards, and that is just 12 in each color. So for each scenario. All right, so that is a quick unboxing and component overview. I guess it probably wasn't really all that quick, so I shouldn't really say that because this video is much longer than usual. But that's a component overview here of Fast and Furious Highway Heist. I'm excited to try it out and see how it works. Kind of an interesting mix of IP plus clearly just ridiculous card gameplay. It kind of reminds me of a lot of those games that you'd see maybe back in the 80s with like cars. I'm blanking on the name right now, but is it Desert Rally or Desert Run, Outlaw Run? There's some board game where you had kind of Mad Max style things racing across. If anyone remembers the name, tell me in the comments. I'm totally blanking right now. It was a bit before my time. But anyway, it kind of reminds me of that. Just kind of looks like silly nonsense, not unlike the movies. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I hope to see you again in another video. Once again, you've been watching Board Games, Bricks, and Hobbies. Take care.